Obviously, low and left, there's no real, if you're going to this to keep you in play, and then you're seeing that out on the golf course, no help.
This could go anywhere.
Yeah.
How good is that? It just doesn't get better than an SGGT fitting. Today I have what I think is literally the best driver of 2024, and we also have Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Very good, thank you. So I'm a huge fan of mini drivers, Jordan. I've loved them from the day of conception, but also I think it's a tragedy that you can't get fitted for them. So that's why we're here, because you guys will fit pretty much everything and anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we're going to see today if I can maybe make this a little bit better, a bit more suitable, because when I'm on with it, I love it and I feel like it's forgiving and I hit fairways with it. When I'm not, I think it's maybe the shaft.
Perfect, makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, we're going to go with it. So do you want me to hit some first, or do you want to have a look? And
yeah, so I've taken some specs off it, but I say we'll get you to hit some shots of yours and see what improvement will look like, and then see if we can swap a shaft in to get some.
Sounds good. Guys, would you go and get fitted for a mini driver? Get in the comments below and let us know. It's not something that I've actively thought about before until the guys here at SGGT said, why don't you come down, get fitted for some of your favourite clubs, see if we can just make them that little bit better. So, without any further ado, we've had a warm-up, and the warm-up was pretty good. I'll tell you one to kick things off with. How many would we usually go with, Jordan, to get a bit of
just to get us going, sort of around five that you're kind of happy with would be what we're sort of looking for, because that gives us a good baseline. Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah, that's a nice one. So what I'm looking for here really is not a lot of movement and just in play.
Okay.
Because for me, if I'm driving well, generally I can score pretty well. But if not, it can be so catastrophic. It can just be anywhere.
And that's the reason why I like the mini driver, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Short shaft, up to keep it in play.
But what I haven't liked about the mini driver in the past is the inability to get fitted for it.
Yeah.
Like I look at those numbers straight away, pitching around 250, running up to 270 odd. For me, a driver's around a 280 shot anyway.
Right, okay.
I don't feel like I should.
Fine. Yeah, nice. And you're looking to hit that sort of squeezy cut, is that?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's my natural shot that I'm comfortable with a club like this.
Ideal.
Or would you say that's low?
Yeah, I'd say that's low.
Yeah?
Personally. And is the mini driver a driver replacement for you, or is it to sit behind the driver?
As well as.
Okay.
So if I feel like shit's hitting the fan, as it were, we're on this.
Fine. No, yeah, I'd say, especially if that's the case, I'd say that's way too low.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we'll talk about that as we go through, but...
That's the one we don't want. Yeah.
There's no point turning
just hit driver, that's the one.
It's the sort of thing that would be, there is possibility where shafts should be able to help you with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's always going to be an element of you involved, but if we can find something that helps you time that product up, then we should see big benefit.
So that's me really happy with it. That's like at home.
Yeah. Okay.
153, launch 12. Yeah, 250 odd carry.
Simply put, again, obviously we're looking at that. You've essentially hit 3 shots, which we'd be happy with.
Look at that on the line.
Yeah. And then we've got 2 that have gone low and left.
Yeah.
As we look at those strikes, they've been toe strikes. You've got a little quick from the top on them.
Yeah.
So again, if we can probably try and find you something in shaft that's more suited, it should help with that timing, should help with face control, things along those lines.
Okay.
As an average of your shots, so what I'm firstly going to do, just have a look at what the good shots do. Just going to sort of just ignore those mishits for the time being. So we're sort of talking about how we want the ball to react off the face. So this allows us to have a look at what we should be doing. So it sort of takes what I think should happen out of the equation. Again, I'm human, I can see things wrong.
Yeah.
This sort of allows us to go, right, what should this flight be?
Yeah.
Now, this is looking at how you swing it. So based on your club head speed and your angle of attack, this is then going to suggest what we should be available to get with a driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we can see is, so your strike first and foremost is just a tiny bit high toe. Is that where you would typically live with most products?
And that's why I get that one that goes low left. Yeah.
So looking at that, you can see how we're getting slightly low on ball speed. And again, these are from your decent strikes there compared to what should be possible. So again, that smash factor at 1.43, that could get up to 1.5. Yeah. Launch angle's a tiny bit on the high side, but again, I'm not offended by that. Like, it's pretty close to, you see where that blue area is. But when we're looking at spin, you can see how we are very low compared to where we should be.
I found that really interesting because I tested recently this, which is the 11.5 degree head, against the 13.5 degree head. Looking at that, I'd probably be better off in a 13.5 degree, wouldn't I?
Potentially, I'd look at that. There's a couple of things we can do first. So obviously, I'd probably be more interested actually. So when we're looking at your spin loft here on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
so obviously that's looking at the difference between the loft you've got at impact and then your angle of attack. Looking at that, you're actually on the higher side of that.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that you're delivering the wrong loft, so to speak. It's more that where the strike is in the head with where the weight settings are then causing that ball to come out a little bit too low spin for you.
Okay.
So potentially a little bit more loft might help us sort of with the design of the head, but the first thing I'll be doing is moving that heavy weight to the back.
Yeah, so move the ego weight there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then again, it's one of those things where we're going to see the ball run out a little bit less.
Yes.
But it will give a much more stable ball flight where it should stay a lot straighter.
And I really enjoy doing this with someone impartial like yourself, because if I do this test in my own simulator and I'm just smashing balls away, it's very difficult to not just go, right, just put some better swing on it now, and then you're going to get the ultimate performance out of it. Whereas we all want ultimate performance, but we want it more consistently.
Yeah, and it's also difficult as well. Like I know if I was hitting that myself and I'm seeing the ball, again, we're looking at sort of the optimal numbers, you're 2 yards short of where you could be optimally.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty good, but you're 10 yards short of where you could be in carry.
Yeah.
And at that spin rate, it's very easy for the ball to turn offline.
Yeah.
So it's one of them, if I'm hitting that, I'm going, oh, I'm getting good distance out of it. And when you're hitting it yourself, it's quite easy to just chase distance.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got someone like me sat here going, hold on, mate, that's not quite where we want it to be. That's sort of where we can get some big improvements.
Right.
But yeah, cool. Let's have a little play.
Put this in your capable hands. And I find it really interesting, guys, that we think fitting is very, very important when it comes to spending your money. I know the big brands do as well, such as TAYLORMADE. But I find it amazing that the mini driver isn't like a real kind of fittable club. It's not something where you go to your local fitting centre and just get fitted for it. So I'm really thankful to be able to come down here to SGGT and work on it a little bit. We've got a lot planned this year and next year with these guys. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and go and check out the guys on their Instagram. I think Chris will make me a coffee if I ask him. Is he in there? He's gone.
So I've just got those weight swapped around, James.
Yep.
So the other thing we've got, so with all of our shafts, they've all sort of fit into an adapter. So I've taken an adapter out of one of the TAYLORMADE drivers, which will then fit into the mini driver.
Yep.
So that allows us then to go in and we can put any shaft within our matrix. We can then going to pop that into this adapter. So there's no limits as to what we can fit in here. We can just find the right product for you.
Great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
So the only two changes I've made. So you had this set all the way lower, so it's playing at 9.5 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm now just going to pop it one click up in loft. So again, it's going to be playing around sort of 10 degrees there or thereabouts. And then I've moved that weight to the back to try and kick that spin.
I've proper had it in the ignorant setting of low spin, low loft. Let's try and get on there.
Again, if you also didn't have another driver in the bag, that would make probably perfect sense because you're going to want to get as much out of this as you can. Which is why it's one of the first questions I asked.
Yeah.
I know we can have this as more of a safety club, and if we do lose a little bit of distance, it's not the end of the world because you've got another club that is going to go further than this. Yeah. So it's just about getting as much consistency as we can.
Right.
Cool. Is there any shafts in the past you've used that you've liked, or?
Usually like Hazardous 6.0, that kind of area.
Okay.
I've tried Autoflex. The KBS Tour Driven's a very, very kind of close one that I always end up fitting into.
Okay.
And of course the ADDI 7, which is like always a shaft that kind of works well for us. So.
Okay, cool.
Have a good holiday, Rob?
Yes, thank you.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, thank you.
Yeah. How was it? A nice week off? Imagine having a week off. A week.
A whole week.
A whole week off. I had to turn the camera on this morning, Bob, didn't you? But straight away for me, looking at getting a different shaft in this head. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. It doesn't make a difference, this, but of shaft graphics meeting head graphics and trying to make them all similar. To me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, for me, it cheapens it as a product rather than having something that you know is fitted for you, you know performs for you. You don't really care what it looks like, matching the colours of the head, personally.
Ultimately, for me, we're trying to match that good shot with a little bit more spin. So if we can just see it hover in the air a little bit more, that would be great. But it's just trying to give you a feeling that it's not going to go left. That's sort of one of my key things.
Oh, wow.
Sounded nice.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It sounded totally different.
Yeah. So the reason being is that you've actually hit that out the heel.
Yeah.
So you've gone from that sort of slightly high toe strike to pretty centre and slightly out the heel.
Yeah.
Straight away, we can see how that's essentially, it's not a perfect strike.
Yeah.
Actually, it not being perfect has kind of got that sort of more optimal ball flight we'd be looking for from a consistency point of view.
Okay. So I feel like that's the one that's toey and would go left.
Okay.
But it's kind of held its line better.
Yeah.
Smash factor 1.48.
Like straight away, it looks a lot better than what you were hitting beforehand.
Yeah.
Again, I like that. It's kind of a pull. So with that straight pull, it should be spinning a little less with the ball going left. We're actually seeing that at 2.5 spin.
Okay.
Which again, it's just a much more stable ball flight than that sort of 1800, which we saw at Fields initially. Yeah, let's have one more with that, and then we can play with something else and see what feelings you get. That's a nice one. And you can see that just a higher peak height, it's flying a little bit. Keep it in the air a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
246 carry, yep. Yeah, I think the weight for me maybe was a tiny bit off-putting, just a little heavy.
Yep.
What I wanted.
Okay. So when you're saying it feels a little heavy and that's a bit off-putting, what's...
Probably more so like lower end, it just feels like I don't have the confidence in transition. Lots and lots of shafts.
So I'm just going to give you the Acra GX, which is a really, really popular range for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, something it's a very, very stable shaft. So this is something that, again, sort of hoping that we can just almost keep the face from closing too much and just allow it just to sort of bleed right on you. Yeah. The sort of thing that would typically do that.
This is something I've wanted to do for so long because shafts can make a big difference. And a lot of people kind of dispel that myth. A lot of people are kind of shaft lawyers, a little bit like myself, and you love the idea of having a different weight, a different torsional stiffness, a different stiffness, a different length and things like that. Even down to them being pured and just making sure that they're actually at the right orientation.
Exactly. It's something you can do quite a lot with puring as well. You can set the pured line up. Typically, we set it up so the hard edge would be facing forward, which typically is the most consistent manner to have the golf club. Yeah. So it just means the club will be actually delivering in the most consistent way possible.
For anyone wondering what this means, we discussed it last time we came with Lawrence, and it's basically this, isn't it? So each shaft has a little bit of a...
So yeah, basically you can imagine there is a spine in the shaft. So not every shaft is made perfectly through the manufacturing process. So one area is going to be sort of slightly thicker than others, which creates a slight spine. So what this basically means is we have a machine which we're able to sort of plug the shaft into. We'll attach a weight to the end, and for lack of a better word, it's going to ping the shaft, so it's going to move back and forward. Now, if you had it in the wrong orientation, now as you move it back and forward, you can see how that starts to move around in a circle. Whereas if I align that shaft up and go there, it's much easier for me to keep that in a straight line. So all that means is when you're delivering the golf club, it's going to be much more consistent into the ball. But again, we can set this up in different ways if we need to. If we need the shaft to behave in slightly different ways, there are ways we can move that spine around as well, if required, for different golfers. So it's just an extra piece to the puzzle which we've got to help golfers in fitting.
Similar to a samurai sword.
Exactly. Yeah, let's see how this one feels for you, James.
Better ball flight. I feel like I can square that up better as well. Yeah. I've leaked that one a bit, but I don't feel like it was...
Strike was brilliant.
Yeah.
So obviously you've left the face a little bit open on that, but
yeah.
I don't mind that because it looks...
as a miss, I don't at all, yeah.
Especially like compared to what you came in with, where it just looked like it could just leak left on you. That looked to be a better protection.
Like that.
As I said, it is a more stable shaft.
Yeah.
And we seem to be seeing some benefits from that, mainly actually in strike. So when we start to see that strike now, we are forming that much more around the middle, which is good.
Yeah.
The issue we can kind of see is I just think the good shots don't look to be going as if they'll go in the same place every time. Whereas again, that was the thing I liked about what you had, whether that's potentially just where you're used to it a little bit as well. Like you did look that your good shots would be really good. This looks to have some good protection. Like even when you hit it left, it didn't duck hook left, which is good. It was just kind of straight left. Yeah. But it's probably trying to find somewhere in between this and just the standard stock shaft, so we can still get maybe that little bit more release of the club head. Yeah. That's what we're starting to see with this, that the face is leaking a little more open.
That's just the worry with that, though.
Yeah. Exactly. It's sort of, again, it's all about how you move it.
Yeah.
Again, path has moved 2 degrees there.
Yeah.
But then face has actually stayed in a similar spot that just allows that just to
and that's the longest of the day, it's just left.
Yeah. And again, it's a really good, well-hit shot. You've swung it quite quick as well compared to where you were initially. Yeah. So what you can do with this next one is move balance point. Okay. So again, I wouldn't have expected that to feel any lighter. Yeah. So now I'm going to move balance point to try and allow that club just to feel a little lighter for you. See how that
I do feel like that will personally help.
Yeah.
This feels quite at home. Lighter. Does it look cool, Bobby? Well, if it looks cool, we're going to have it then, aren't we? Yeah. How good is that?
Again, sort of similar sort of strike to as you came in. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Did it feel better, yeah?
Yeah. For how bad I've hit those last two, I'm really impressed with the distance.
Yeah.
What is that? That's just a bad swing.
Again, something I'm always sort of keen to look at is how easy something looks.
Yeah.
Like, I think trying to keep fitting as simple as possible in some cases, it's like you're almost just trying to find the thing that's easiest to hit a good shot.
Yeah.
Right. I look at this compared to the first two, and if we're stood out on a golf course without Trackman here, I'd be going, the first couple look quite good.
Yeah.
I look at this and I go, you haven't hit a fairway yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as easy as what the others do. And again, we sort of dive into the numbers a little bit. We can see how the strike's moving around the face a little bit more. Path's got, again, sort of that one there, you've actually got sort of 12 degrees left on the path. Yeah. Which just looks to me, again, as if you're struggling to find the club quite early on in the swing. Yeah. Again, not something that's looking ideal. The weight of it felt better, though.
Yes, the weight felt miles better, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because fitting's so much like trial and error and asking questions, isn't it?
Yes, it's trial and error moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. It's not just blindly trying golf clubs until you get the right one. Otherwise, we'd be here all day. But you're right, it is a case of trying something, again, making a change, see how the person reacts to it, and then make a decision based on what you see.
Yeah.
You get your mini driver in the QI10 blue, it'd look amazing in this shaft. Not that that means anything. But...
No. That's good.
Like that.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, it was lovely. Oh, yeah.
Really good.
20 yards longer.
Yeah, straight away you swung it quicker and then found the middle.
That's where we want, because ideally here I want it carry. I want 260 yard. It's all right saying, yes, it can run out to 280, but it's not always going to run out to 280, is it?
No, of course not. And again, especially sort of going into winter, like we're going to, if you're going out and playing at the moment, we're going to start to see that being a lot lower in the total distance if the carry's not there.
Yeah.
But straight away now, hitting that, you can see how earlier on we were seeing that ball speed too low with the stock shaft.
Yeah.
Straight away, we're now seeing everything actually move more, so everything's in line with the blue. So on that particular shaft, we're seeing lower launch and then higher spin, which just allows you to get that carry, but without it launching too high, we're still getting the roll out as well, which is really nice. The thing I like there as well is the sort of relationship between club path and face angle was really good, which just allowed it to sort of start off on the left-hand side and then just peel back. Yeah. A little bit, it's just going to be down to alignment, like you're just hitting ball after ball. On the course, you're going to sit there and line yourself up a little bit more and take a bit more care. But straight away, that shot looks really, really good.
I feel like you've done exactly what you wanted to with the spin rate and the launch angle.
Yeah, exactly. As I kind of mentioned initially, it's trying to move them around. Shaft is going to make a difference to that, but it's not going to make a huge difference. Whereas again, changing loft and where the weight position of the head will always make a bigger difference to those numbers. But yeah, really like that last one, James. Nice.
Oh, that's the Toei one from earlier that just...
Okay, I initially didn't think that, but that's fine.
I definitely feel like there's something in this one just with that first shot, just recreating that.
I also look at that and go, that's not bad for what it is. Yeah. Like, again, I didn't actually realise it was that much of a toe strike until actually looking at the numbers. So I'm looking at the ball flight and going, oh, it's actually not a bad shot. It's a tiny bit left. But you'd be probably happy with that on the course.
For it to perform that well with that lower ball speed is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, we've had one good strike.
I almost don't mind it there, you know. I feel like I'm almost home there because it's not leaking right. As long as it doesn't go that far.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing. Like we're starting to see good shots in a similar kind of area. Like it's a little left compared to where your first ones were with the stock shaft. But we're starting to see a more consistent bunch coming again with the shots you're hitting, which is something that I like. It might be something where we need to play around with weight to see if we can help you find the centre of the golf club a little bit. Yeah. So again, this is lighter. So this is now a 60-gram shaft. Yeah. So probably matches in more with the weight that you like the feel of. Yeah. But it's going to, whether the thing you like the feel of is what actually performs best, sometimes don't always match up. But this is definitely a product that I'm liking how it's working better. Yeah, really good. How was that for strike?
Toey a little bit, but doesn't feel like I'm trying to work it too hard.
Yeah. So something that we've got within our demo room is we CPM everything, so we frequency everything. Yeah. Essentially what that's looking at is across the whole product, how stiff everything feels. So again, if we were, for example, to go up to a 70 gram now, I've asked you how sort of stiff that felt and comfortable that felt. Looking at going into the 70 gram, the X is going to CPM firmer than this, whereas the stiff might feel more similar. So I can now literally walk over to here. There's a little number on here showing this is 262. So I can go over, we've got We've even got the 80 gram here that we could have a go with, but the 80 gram stiff
On a bench press that or something.
comes in at 263.
Yeah.
So the 80 gram stiff is actually stiffer than the 60 gram X.
Yeah.
So it sort of allows us to go in and go, right, what's actually going to suit? So probably in terms of what's being closest, the 70 gram X is probably going to feel most similar to that. So with that being something you like the feel of, we'll try that one.
It's a nice ball flight, isn't it?
It is, yeah. As we've seen from the last one, you can't always be tricked by just the first shot.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that, again, it's not a massive change initially to the actual output. Like, we've still got a good shot there from a good strike.
Strike was good, just left again.
Yeah, really well hit.
Yeah. No, it does feel good, that one.
Yeah. Something we get asked a lot as well is sort of when does sort of fitting come in and what point is it you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I look at this and I go, like, today your club path's probably a little more left than what you would ideally have it.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to see the good shots kind of go straight left.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at that and I'm seeing 3 balls that you've hit really nicely, all in a very consistent area just up the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Personally, I would look at that and go, a little bit of that is on you.
Yeah.
In the sense that what you're actually going to try and see as a good shot is going to go left.
Yeah.
The minute we see it going right, it is going to typically overleak due to the path being as far left as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's been really, really nice on that. Sort of looking at the flight again for you on that optimizer, we're still in a really, really nice spot with that. So again, we're getting that carry up really close to where the optimal should be. We're seeing that total very close to that. I really like it. It's maybe just a case of seeing if we can find something that is similar that allows you to sort of move the path if possible to get it a little closer.
But again, I think that's just a couple of practice sessions, isn't it?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. But again, strike's now super consistent. There's 3 shots in there, all out of pretty much the exact same spot, which is really good. Shows you sort of feeling where the club is really.
Yeah.
Does it feel better to you having a 70 gram? Because you've mentioned how you typically like the
Probably
slightly
not, probably the lighter one.
You probably prefer the feeling of the lighter one. Okay. Just the heavier one seems to behave itself better.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of that comes down to as well, if you're playing golf 18 holes or 36 holes, when it comes to your last 5 or 6 tee shots, do you want something that you're kind of struggling in transition, or do you want something that's a bit lighter that you can keep moving?
The truth of this product is, though, it's got quite, like, this is all relative, but it's got quite a soft butt section. So it is something that it wouldn't concern me in transition for you, of you actually being able to move that. Even though it is quite heavy, it's quite an easy product to load. Again, there's certain other things in here, like we tried the red one earlier, so this one here, where, again, that would probably be a little bit more concerned that you're trying to load that towards the end of a 36-hole day and actually get that working properly. This isn't something I'd be too concerned that you're getting that to work.
It's quite amazing with swing path as well, because I always find that, and I'm sure you guys at home feel it as well, you either hit your driver well, or you hit your irons well, or you do something well. You never really do everything well at once, and nothing ever clicks in. I'm hitting my irons really well at the minute, and I think that's because my path is left.
Right, okay.
Because obviously I'm hitting down a little bit more, whereas I think I'm probably struggling with the driver more so, because path is left and I haven't spent the time practicing the 2 different golf swings and different attack angles.
Again, like there, so obviously you're like -1-ish on the attack angle.
So ideal world, you're kind of more neutral, maybe 1 up, back in spine angle up a bit and just getting a bit more inside.
Exactly. But again, I kind of look at, with your driver probably perfect. I don't think you actually need to do that with this.
Yeah.
I think you can afford to have
Just
it a little
squeeze
squeezier, a little lower, and we'll go from there. So this isn't something I would...
So I played Turnberry, the Elsa course with this driver, played with Paul Lorry, and the reason I put this in is because I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of the major winner. So I was like, I put this in. And I literally steered it round the golf course and played really well, shot like a couple over par, which round that golf course I was really happy with. So like, I feel like the reasoning for it's there. I just wanted to come in and see if maybe we could tweak it to get it a little bit better.
And I think initially as a point of view with that, I think this has kind of achieved that. It's now just trying to see if there's something else that's even better than that.
Right.
In terms of grips, what do you normally have on your clubs?
Just standard.
Just standard? In terms of like just standard tall velvet as well, or are you? Okay. Is that something you've played around with? I'm assuming it is, or?
Yeah, I always find that too thin and I wrap them over, and too thick and I leave it out. So I'm quite happy.
Quite happy with
standard, Right, auto flex, Bobby. This could go anywhere.
Yeah. So the truth is, this isn't something I necessarily think would work for you. But if
it
works,
this.
if it works for someone, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them where you've just got to try it. Oh, hello.
Don't do this now. Oh dear, how good was that? That was so easy as well, wasn't it?
So The advantage here is it is lighter, so you're
Yeah.
going to get that lighter feeling that you're looking for.
I have tested this in normal drivers, never in a mini driver.
Ballooned up a little bit on that one, but
Yeah,
how does it feel to swing?
feels easy, effortless, really. But like that one, I felt like it deserved better, and it's like 20 yards short of a good one with the other shafts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like if you want a ball flight that's easier to launch, then yeah, but that's not what we're after with this.
No. Again, the other thing is, though, is we can then start to mess around with the head settings. If you liked it,
Yeah.
we can start to move the weight forward again, almost have it more how you had it when you
I feel
came
like if
in.
that was the case, it would have been a normal driver, not this.
Yep.
Because if
Makes
you're
sense.
looking for ultimate distance, you're not picking a shorter, high lofted club, are you? Yeah.
And it's more just a case of you've actually hit a couple of good shots in terms of how they've gone out.
Yeah.
Just if you really liked how it felt or something along those lines, then it'd be something worth looking at. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's doing anything massively different to what this was, apart from the fact that it's more to the right-hand side. Because you're sort of seeing that sort of move a little bit more to the right in the air.
Yeah.
Right, so there's your next one.
I feel like I have been fitted into this before with Lawrence in a driver fitting
Yeah.
TPT.
Can you remember which one it was, just out of interest?
No
There we
idea.
go. Perfect.
That doesn't help you at all, does it? Sorry.
So again, the only thing we're hoping to achieve more with this than we saw with the Ventus is just hopefully it can start more to the right. We'll see how it feels.
Nice ball flight, maybe a bit low and spinny.
Yeah. Yeah, your sort of attack angle's gone down a little, sort of more down and across on that one.
Yeah. No. I just feel like I'm fighting that the whole time.
That's fine. See it for quite a lot of people actually. It manages to move strike up the head quite a lot, I find.
Yeah.
So there are certain people that works for, and you're just like nothing will get close to it. The thing that's really, really good with the Ventus, they've got the Velocore Plus technology, which just allows them to have a very, very stable tip section.
Yeah.
It just looks to be working really well
Yeah.
for you, to be fair. So yeah, really happy with that. What we can do is just try out a different grip potentially, and just see if there is something we can get that's more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And just double tweak any of the head settings if we
absolutely.
need to get that
Funny 'cause
shaft
a lot of
working
people
as well
wouldn't
as
even
possible.
think too much about grip, would they? You just kind of go with what you always go with.
Totally, and like again, there are some people where we find it makes a big difference. Like there are some people where changing taper rate can all of a sudden change you from hitting it left, hitting it right.
Yeah.
Some people where it does the opposite.
Yeah.
So it's all about just sort of trying to fine tune it and see what we can make for you.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say is I'd like to try a +4 with you.
Okay.
Just to see if we can, again, as I kind of mentioned there, some people will leave the face a little bit more open with the +4, so we can get that right hand a little thicker. That might enable you to control the face a little better, to sort of stop it going left on you. But yeah, we'll see what it does for you. So yeah, so we've got a small workshop which we do some repairs from, but obviously we've then got an air compressor in here which allows us to swap the grip over.
Wow. And I guess the process of this being able to do it and not wait 40 minutes for a grip to dry.
Literally, so all of our grips are put on with masking tape.
Yeah.
Which just means we can just blow the grip on and off. If you had it on there long term, you would see the grip move a little bit. So that's why we'd obviously use double-sided tape in the build.
Yeah.
But for the process of actually just testing the clubs, this is absolutely brilliant.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we've got the air compressor, pop that in the end. I can just blow that grip off. So that's the stock grip, our stock tour velvet off. Now we can grab the multi-compound +4. And then we can just squeeze this one back over the top.
Good effort.
There we go. So now,
impressed by that.
Yeah, so now that's just good to hit. So again, this has got a little less taper rate. So the bottom hand's a little thicker, and we'll just see how James gets on with it.
Oh, let's do this.
So from looking at that when we hit it with just the other grip on, sort of looking at if we want to adjust the settings in any way, actually looking at it, the flight's coming out pretty much perfect. So the only thing we're really hoping for is if we can either move that club path, which we might get you to try and feel if we can do that a little bit, because we were 11 left on those few shots. Or if we can allow that face to stay a little more open, just so that that ball then fades back to target. So if we're looking at these on here, you can see we've just started them left. But you hit them really, really well, they're just left. So if we can get that just starting a little bit straighter, we'll be absolutely spot on.
Right. Just left, Bobby. There we go.
Great shot. Great shot.
Ah, just that 14 times in a round of golf. You know what though? I wouldn't have really thought too much about grip, and it does feel good. That
does it?
Yeah.
Because you've obviously mentioned you use Tour Velvet.
Yeah.
We can get a Tour Velvet +4.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that though.
But I was going to say, if it looks particularly good in that shaft. Like there's a combination that looks great, but yeah. So it's something I just see making sense for you, especially that one where you sort of drop it a bit on the inside, turn it over left. Yeah. It should help you feel the face a little bit more.
That one.
That one there.
That's just a tired golf swing, to be honest. Tired golf.
Did you say that's where you go see Pete Cowan?
Well, it didn't work. David Ledbetter didn't work either. So I carried 260 though.
It's a really good strike. Like you just smashed it out of bounds left. But it's really well hit.
There we go.
Yeah, it's good. Like the good shots are now falling back online. Strike consistency looks better. Yeah, I think that looks really, really good.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much for your time.
No problem at all.
Really enjoyed that. Guys, if you're in the area and you want to get down, make sure you do check out SGGT Tour Fitting. There's also one in Edinburgh and
a couple in the Netherlands as well.
A couple in the Netherlands as well. Guys, thanks for watching. See you all exactly the same time tomorrow. Well done, Bobby. First day back. Done all right, aren't you?
Perfect.